Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Monday, December 13th edition of the AM Show, hosted live here on Alpha Mint. I am your host, R2DGen, and I am joined with me by the man who finally got to see what his CloneX looked like and still opted not to, Mr. Free Market Capitalist.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, we had a big weekend here. Lots to talk about. I was away for a wedding for most of it, and I was frantically trying to keep up with all of the action. Go figure, the week was a little bit slower last week, and leading into the weekend, it felt like it was a good time to step away from the computer for a little bit, and boy, was I certainly wrong. But yeah, lots of stuff to go over today, and honest to God, we probably have a couple of shows worth of content just to talk about CloneX, but we will get to that pretty shortly.
So, yeah, 8 months of my life culminated over the weekend, so we have quite a bit to chat.
8 months worth, yes, perfect.
8 months ago, I bought those shoes.
Your life condensed into 1 hour. So yeah, I mean, let's just dive right into it and take a quick look at the crypto markets. Bitcoin just dropped below 48,000. Ethereum is kind of headed towards 3,900. Looks like we're in for a little bit of a red week. The 7-day trend is looking like it's about down 4, 5, 6% across the board. Solana having a really rough week, down 17% at this point.
Went offline again. Not kidding. This isn't isn't a router joke. They went offline again. Yeah.
God, they must.
It's not even. Honestly, this is not acceptable as a viable chain. It really is not. This has never happened. I think it actually happened to Bitcoin early on, but I can't think of any other chains where this happened.
Yeah, I mean, they're on getting towards OpenSea levels of reliability
Ridiculous.
Right now. But it is hard. It is hard to make it, participate in that on that chain, just because all these projects pop up. They spend many months or years developing for that ecosystem. And to have the network that you rely so much on to fail you frequently is a little frustrating. I would highly recommend they hire you as their IT advisor with your networking ability.
Yeah. So
buy a new router, free market would say.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I look at crypto right now, and if I had to give one word to the sentiment, it's confused. We seem to get overly bearish during the big dip early last week or late the week before. I totally forgot what it was. But then as we recovered, people seem to get quickly bullish again. That's a sign to me that people are confused. The chart can go either way. Once it starts going that way, people seem to rush over and get very bearish, or vice versa and get very bullish. That probably means sentiment is not completely reset yet. And while I wouldn't expect a crash, I could certainly see the market frustrating people as long as possible. We see it in stocks all the time. The most dangerous is not down. The most dangerous is sideways, because you keep placing bets when you think it's going to break one way or another, and then you just, eventually you run out of ammo or you overextend yourself, so to say. So I think we're just in frustration mode right now. Both sides keep getting proven wrong, and we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, and it doesn't really feel like it's like a spool that's like tightening up. It's kind of just
right.
Bouncing around in this channel, and like you said, it becomes very hard to predict which way it's going. Even on just a day-to-day basis, you seem to be like, oh cool, we're back, and then the next day you're like, maybe not quite, and then the third day you're like, ooh shit, this is rough, and then the next day you're like, oh okay, we're back, right? Right. Yeah, it's this is where it gets a little nerve-wracking sometimes, if I'm being honest with you, having been through this more than once.
Nerve-wracking, but I gotta say, I don't watch spot as much, and boy, has it been a great environment for NFTs. Did we hit sub 30 gas like 15 times this week? What?
Yeah, I woke up to it being 25 this morning, which is a goddamn steal, especially if you're still, doing any of these staking plays and whatnot.
Since I saw that. Years.
Yeah, it's been a while. So You mentioned NFTs, and that's what we're here for. So let's get into that. A little bit of news that I saw brought up in the DGen Dojo, and we had already kind of lined up to talk about. It's always the apes, isn't it? Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT accidentally sold for $3,000 instead of $300,000 due to a fat finger error. Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT holder accidentally sold Bored Ape 3547 for 0.75 Ethereum instead of 75.
Unless your Bored Ape has been stolen, did you ever actually own one? I don't even know. I mean, come on, guys. Security gotta be like you. When you are placing something for sale that is worth 6 figures, you type one key per 10 minutes and then you walk away and you come back to the computer and you measure. This is not something you do hastily. How many fat fingers do we see? You got to be really careful when you're listing these things. These are, very high ticket items.
Yeah, so it was interesting reading through this too. Decrypt actually did get a hold of the person to talk about it, and he just said, "I list things all the time. It was a lapse of concentration. I'm sorry, I don't want to rub salt in the wound, and I'm sure he's not listening to this, but $300,000 on the line. You don't just type that number in a blister and then click send." He did say he realized right away that he did. He went to cancel it, but a bot instantly sniped it and paid 8 ETH of gas fees. So that thing just jammed it up real fast. And in an instant, the $250,000 was gone. So, the list price was 0.75. The buyer paid an extra 8 ETH just in gas to make sure that they got it, or whatever bot was set up to do it. And away goes the apes. I don't know why we constantly have these conversations surrounding the Bored Apes. We talk about this time and time again with the CryptoPunks. You never really hear about this. I mean, they have their own issues. You see the stupid thing, like it sells for $500 million on a flash spot loan and shit like that. But man, the apes are unfortunate when it comes to things like this happening.
Yeah, and we talk about it a lot. It just comes down to sophistication. And it doesn't mean these people are stupid. It just means that, crypto has a lot of friction, a big learning curve, and security is, when you come from centralized Web 2, where large companies not only take care of your security, but insure you. So if anything goes wrong, you're instantly made whole. I mean, that type of conditioning for your entire life, and then you come over to crypto, where it's decentralized and you are in control of every penny and every security
and responsible for.
Right. I mean, this is where these lapses happen, and I don't even know if they have it because I'm not in that Discord, but they may need a best practices for safety channel in there. I don't know if they need a video, a convention to talk about it, but you just got to really take this very seriously and take your security. Be extra about it. Who gives a shit? Be weird. Be paranoid. Be extra.
It's not actually the worst thing in the worst idea in the world. I mean, if you're a first-time Ferrari buyer, they do send you to a school to make sure that you know how to handle the car properly and all of the the power that is behind it. But
most states will not give you a gun license until you've taken at least a safety course with your gun, right? So this is it's the same type of thing. Don't shoot yourself in the foot for 300 grand.
Well, that's just it. I'm just picturing the name of this video. It's so you want to spend $300,000 on an NFT? Here's what you should know. God. Anyways, moving on.
Have MoonPay do it for you. Have a professional do it for you. That's why MoonPay
not
exists.
a bad idea. Yeah. Post Malone endorses it. So there you go. Post Malone did not accidentally fat finger his purchase of the Bored Ape Yacht Club. More Bored Ape news on the weekend. The sale of a robotic laser eye ape number 9452 sold for $1.4 million US. That's almost 350 Ethereum. It was largely considered one of the grails of the Bored Ape collection has the laser eyes, the space suit, which I think is actually one of the really clean traits of it. It's unshaven pipe mouth. Those are all highly sought after traits of the Bored Ape, and that thing went for $1.4 million. Now, you brought it to my attention. I didn't even realize, but there's maybe a little bit of questioning going on as to what actually happened behind the scenes here. Do you want to fill the audience in on what you heard on Twitter?
Yeah, it was a little strange because people started, of course, going to look at the contract, as we're all blockchain detectives. And when we see a very large sale, we want to see what the deal was. Well, the purchaser had apparently transferred 250 ETH to the buyer before the purchase happened. And then it was a mistake and the ETH was sent back. It was a very weird thing that they had a strange explanation for. Like, why were they even? It was weird, and I'll tell you, to the public, what it came off as was trying to pump the price and make it look like it was worth more than it was, because they transferred to that theoretically means the ape was sold for 100, not 350. And was this just ape collusion to try to jack the price? I don't think so. I'm not sure. They said it was a mistake. Really weird stuff. I don't know if anyone has completely gotten to the bottom of it because their explanation was strange, but I'm going to be following that and hopefully can bring you the inside story tomorrow, because it was bizarre. The guy who sold the ape is one of the more respected people within the NFT community. People were like, it was so great. This couldn't have happened to a better person. He's a photographer. I didn't know too much about him, but strange story, though. That is a grail ape, and I wouldn't be surprised if it legitimately sold for that amount either.
Yeah. That's the thing about the blockchain, right? Is the stuff is all out there. It's all transparent. If it is if it is collusion, there's got to be better ways to do this shit. If it's a fat finger, like, did that person actually reach out and be like, hey, dude, like, instead of typing 100 WETH, I accidentally hit 347? Do you mind hooking a brother up and giving me 250 of that back? Like, what do you even do? I'd be so conflicted. Like, if I was just looking at like my a galactic ape, let's say, for instance, and you're getting WETH offers for, like, at this point, like 0.25 or something. Yeah, shut up. But yeah, 0.25. If somebody typed 25 ETH in there, like, I'm fucking smashing that accept button. But, like, I don't know. Right. Do you give it back? Do you give it back? Like, what do you do? That's a fucking lot of money.
If this was somebody in our community, of course.
Yeah, of course.
That's the thing, though. I don't even mean, if I was in Kaiju, any community I'm a part of, I'm not trying to steal someone's money on a fat finger. Like, right. That's not why any of us are here. If some random stranger did it, I'm not sure I'd feel any impetus to give it back and try to figure out who they were and link with them and all that type of stuff. It's, like I said, it reeks of some sort of scheme, but these are apparently respected members of the community. I don't want to level any charges, but that was bizarre.
Yeah, strange stuff going on in the ape land. All right, so let's move on. WGMI, we'll really quickly go over it. Our favorite, the bastard punks, are up 42% on the day, leading the charge. Everything else is pretty thin. We got Cypher sitting up 40%, and then everything else is kind of just below 25%. Galactic Apes bouncing back a little bit. It was down as low as, I think, 0.27 for a bit. We just mentioned that one is struggling a lot.
Shout out to Scrappy Coco, who totally called 0.25 here in the room and said that's probably a buy for apes. I'm starting to think the FUD on Galactic Apes is so much at this point. I mean, once you hear the negativity get into a fever pitch, it
Yeah.
tends to be a buy no matter what the situation. It's just mean reversion at the very least, you know?
Yeah, it does feel like apes are almost at that like max pain level, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
you're down from a floor of almost 3 ETH for a while there, and it's just been slipping and slipping. Had a little bit of a
Mhm.
run up back to 1 ETH with the monkeys, and then has just been tumbling. I love the apes. I have the gapes, and I have a couple in my wallet. I'm definitely holding them, but yeah, it's been disheartening to kind of watch it all happen, but hey, those are the punches that NFTs throw at you. So we'll see what happens. I mean, the art on that project and the PFPableness of it is just so good that I have a hard time believing that's gonna continue to drop any further. Like you said, eventually it just becomes like a must buy, I think.
Speaking of apes, and shout out to Trish, who has a very cute baby ape, pink baby ape in the audience. Did you
Hmm.
see one of these baby apes sold for 25 ETH over the weekend?
You know what? I actually heard about it. I didn't see it. Let
Yeah.
me pull that up though. I was just actually going to mention they are sitting at about a point 0.8 floor right now, so they've had an incredible
Wow.
run. They did actually manage to reach over 1 ETH floor for a little bit. So for a project like this in this kind of market, and I don't want to say it's like a bad market. There's like this misconception almost everywhere except for Alpha Mint that we're in like a full blown bear market, and all I see in like the Degen Dojo is just like win win win. Like so,
It's a bifurcated market, no question.
yeah, I mean, we are definitely focused on the minting process, and they're minting out. They're doing well. Yeah, I see this. Oh, you know what? I did see that little baby Ape Kid
Yeah,
Club
and we
sold in.
talked about this being one of the more promising derivatives out there. With that week, we saw ape wives, those hideous ape wives, just ripping to 1E. And I don't mean the art's bad. I just mean they look a little rough. Whatever, but your
Intentionally
ape.
so. They did a good job of
Yeah,
it.
you're right. So, your ape needs a wife, and obviously your ape needs a kid. So, wow, what a cook for that. And a 25 ETH sale, that project ain't going anywhere anytime soon. It's around to stay.
Yep. Yeah, definitely a good one. I like the art on it. Hard to believe actually that sale was a week ago. It does feel like it was sometime this weekend, but yeah, here we are. You got it on this one yesterday. Pretty interesting that happened was AstroBoy. I'm trying to find
Man,
the OpenSea link on it right now, but that popped up as a stealth drop at I think you said 0.08.
point zero. It was at, I want to say, about 10:30 p.m. last night. This project grabbed me so in the feels. Like, the problem is I'm never going to be able to sell them, right? Like, this could be the greatest cook of my life. But if you didn't see these, this is an actual Astro Boy NFT by Tezuka Osamu, who is the creator of Astro Boy. This was a generative comic collection. So they took the old strips, they created a Gon for it, and every time you minted, it created a new kind of comic poster for you of Astro Boy. These were kind of stealth. Nobody knew about them. We found the site, and there was only 1,000. Right, so we get on there, and the site's crashing, just crashing like nuts. We're all trying to mint these things, and it's fast click, right? Like click, 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 click. Try to get one through. I was so lucky that one of my clicks actually got me through to the mint page. I was able to mint one. And for all my trying, I kept trying to mint more after that. I know some of our some of our Moon Lounge members got three. There were three options. So you would click a sample picture, and if you clicked one of the sample pictures, it would then compose one for you based off, I think, the assets in that part of the collection. And what a cook. These things got up to 1E within maybe 30 minutes of selling out. A few whales definitely discovered them. We saw some genie sweeps. Now, the floor has cooled off a lot overnight, but this is like one of Uncle Free's. I don't like guarantees, but these are so iconic from such an important artist with such a low supply, and they look great. There is everything to love about these. We will drop the link down in the general chat. They're not cheap. I think they were sitting at 0.3. last time I looked.
Yeah,
But
0.33 right now.
yeah, I love these. I think I'm gonna buy more now that the floor has pulled back, and it was an incredible cook in the Moon Lounge last night. I don't want to misquote who shouted it out. I think it was Polinary. But thank you, and wow, amazing.
Yeah, these are great. These are, they don't really, obviously they have like some rarity in the types of like, what you think is aesthetically appealing and whatnot. But, they just, there's 1,000 of them. They dropped. They're all a little bit different. A lot of them have kind of the same frames in them, but they're just organized differently and whatnot. And yeah, they look great. There's a good mix of colors, some bright colors, some black and white, like different tones and whatnot. And honestly, this is the kind of thing you hang on your wall, right? It's especially for collectors of it. So not surprised to see something like that do really well, especially with a stealth drop. Like you said, low supply. Owners are sitting at about 600 unique owners right now for 1,000.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
1,000
and
collection, man.
that's actually quite significant too, because you got to believe that a lot of people buying these at the higher valuations throughout the night were actually doing so because they want them as well.
I saw very few people. When you see a big cook like this and the traders get involved, the people who get in towards the end of the volume rush, they start taking losses. Like we saw a few people who bought at 0.7 selling for 0.4, but it wasn't that like crazy trader dump you see when like a project, reveals and people start to I think these are going into the hands of holders. These are fine art from an iconic artist. This is my wheelhouse. I love these so much. I mean, can't say enough about them.
Yeah, absolutely. They look great. We'll definitely follow those around and see what end up happening with them. Another one that I just want to recap that we talked about quite a bit last week, actually, on Friday at a members request was CryptoChampions. We were pretty critical of it based on the one of the more egregious announcements that the founder made, and this is in reference to the minimum selling price agreement, where you were automatically banned if you listed for under 2 ETH, because they wanted 8,888 like-minded people to accomplish something. So this project, despite being priced at 0.25 mint, did mint out, and it did mint out fast. I think the 20 minutes was the total amount of time that the public sale ended up taking to mint the rest of them. They are currently unrevealed, and they are sitting at a 0.275 floor, so not up very much. Like we said, this has had a lot of red flags, but yeah, I mean, it minted out successfully. They pocketed a cool 2,200 ETH, and I guess in effort to punish the paper-handed traders, they've also set the royalties at 10% plus the 2.5% OpenSea VIG. So
if you sell now pre-reveal, you're taking a loss.
Yeah.
Not a big one, but you're taking a loss. And I mean, this is, you got to be scared if you minted this. There has been no post-reveal pump. It's sitting right at mint plus gas, maybe, a little more. And what's going to happen post-reveal, right? Like we see every project, including the fabulous and universally loved CloneX, after they revealed, falling, 50%. It seemed like a project you should stay away from. The fact that they minted out gets under my skin a little bit. It feels like they didn't deserve it. I hope this project does very well for anybody who is involved, but when you're just sitting right at mint price, pre-reveal, with all the red flags we've seen, I'm not sure if you should take your money and run now or sit there through reveal. But, this project, we reviewed it a little bit. It gave us bad vibes. It seemed like it wasn't genuine, and that the owners are way too focused on the price mechanics and not the project themselves. And they certainly don't know how to build a community if they're putting out statements like, don't sell under 2 ETH. That's just douchey. I mean, that's just not cool.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing, right? They set the royalties at 10%, and they've traded almost 1,000 ETH in volume, so it's netting them a lot of money. And if money isn't their main driving factor, then why why choose 0.25 as your mint price? I mean, good for them. They won. They minted out. They collected a lot of ETH, and who knows? Remains to be seen how long term this project ends up being. I'm again not wishing anybody poorly, and if you participated in this, I hope that you have a big win on it. Everything that this project was about was just was so strange, and I guess I'll be interested to see what happens once the reveal kind of takes place, and if there's that post reveal dump. Sorry. Couple other things that was interesting. Thingdoms minted very, very fast. It is at almost 1,000 ETH in volume right now, sitting at 0.129 as the floor. Somebody you mentioned in the audience has one in their profile picture.
I'd argue the most anticipated drop of the week, maybe, except for Duskbreakers. I mean, CloneX had already revealed and stuff like that, but as far as the public, these were very highly anticipated drops.
Yeah, they look cool too. Actually, there's I love the color schemes on them. They look nice. They're not overly complicated. Not seeing
It's
a huge
unique
variety in rarity traits or anything like that, but no, they look pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know if there's more of an angle to the project, if there's a big roadmap that they're planning, but it sold out very quickly. A lot of people were looking forward to it. It gives me like Party Degenerate or a super secret superlative vibes, just in its surrealism kind of, and yeah, I think I think they look pretty good. And if anyone in the AMA knows more about the project and wants to talk about it, I'd love to hear. It wasn't one I was following closely, but nice cook over the weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I actually should have left that till the end of the show just to try and drum up some people coming up. But yeah, let's touch on that. Hopefully anybody that participated wants to come up and talk about it a little more. Little Lemon Friends, let's do it. So public sale went live 3 p.m. Friday. It was 48 hours. Slowly opened up to some cool cats and what was it, toy boogers,
Boogers,
yep, to mint some out. So you had 5 for the pre-sale. Alpha Mint definitely took advantage of a lot of the pre-sales that we were able to scoop up at the beginning, and then Sonerius was kind enough to hand out a ton more for anybody that wanted to get in. It going into the public sale yesterday, I think it was just over 3,100 of them had minted on the pre-sale. So yeah, about 33% of the supply was gone.
Because they could have sold out. So that was one thing people were watching, because if every cool cat or toy, if every cool cat or toy booger tried to mint there too, it would have sold out before most of them could have even gotten. So,
but yeah,
it's just something people were watching with a 10K supply. People were wondering. So
yeah, so 3,000 never too bad to see mint out. Now these were priced at 0.025, so very cheap too. So the public sale went live, and it didn't fly out of the gate, but there was a lot of minting going on. It was quickly going to 3,500, 4,000 minting out, 5,000 minting out. We had a little bit of a gentleman's bet in the DGen dojo about at what serial number Sneaky would start minting at, because he seems to get in on anything that's even remotely active. And I'm pleasantly surprised to say that I was the winner of said bet. I said he would start minting at 7,444, and his first mint was 7,395. So I took a giant W on that one.
Sneaky is the gun start for Go, because right after that happened, they were moving about 500 a minute, and it wasn't another 3 minutes before the entire collection sold out. 9,799 of them, 200 were kept back by the team for promotional reasons and stuff like that.
Hopefully random ones.
Yep. And man,
we'll talk about that later.
If I could have felt like a proud papa, and mind you, I had nothing to do. The most I did was go in there and say vibe every day. But boy, did I feel proud when this thing sold out in an hour. I think a lot of us would have been not surprised at all if it had still been active today, if this thing maybe took 24 hours or 48 hours to mint out, right? It wasn't an obvious cook. There wasn't crazy hype. They didn't have more than 5,000 people in the Discord, right? But we just believed in this team, especially. I think that you know, projects that check all the boxes now when they have good art, a good roadmap, good socials, good buzz. Then it comes down to, well, what is this team going to do longevity wise? Are they going to deliver? Do they have a vision? Are they genuine? Do they care? And man, if you listen to the interviews we've done with Sonerius on our YouTube channel and on Spaces, the kid just gets it. The stuff he talks about resonates with us.
I also heard that the devs found out like in real time on the Twitter Spaces that he was only 19 years old.
It was hilarious. So their head dev, very well-known guy called Drop Acid. He's part of the Ape community, knows his shit, amazing dev. So he comes on the Spaces with Maz, and Sonerius had introduced, hi, I'm 19, and Drop Acid goes, you're 19? And we're like, wait, don't you work and talk with him every day? He's like, yeah, like he probably mentioned it in the first time we talked, but I just thought he was 30 like all of us.
It just never came up, I guess, eh? Like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm just finishing up high school.
Yeah, and quite frankly, if you listen to Sonerius talk, you wouldn't know he was 19 unless he told you. You know, he understands NFTs, art, people, community, and culture as well as anybody twice his age. And it's just why I'm so bullish on the project. You know, they minted out at 0.025 with very reasonable gas, even as gas.
The contract was great, yeah.
Oh yeah, contract. You know, shout out to Drop Acid. Very well written contract. Most people paid less than 0.004 per len. You paid about 0.014 for 5 per minting. And they're sitting at 0.041 right now. Not a huge cook. Not something people are crowing about this morning, but they are above mint. The reveal is going to be tonight at 8 p.m. And this is one of those reveals. I'm nervous about it because I'm so emotionally invested. But if you look at the community he comes from, which is Cool Cats, his mentor, who is Klon, which is the creator of Cool Cats, if you were going to pick a project with the best traits in the game, I think Cool Cats would win hands down. Apes are good. Cool Cats take it to another level. And I think with that type of guidance and inspiration in his pocket, these lemon traits are going to kill. People are going to love the floors. And again, I haven't been predicting any type of crazy cook or pump for these, but I think over time, there's a reason I bought 75 of these. And if you guys don't know, I aped as hard into these as I could get myself to. I sold a CloneX just to ape into these because I love them so much, and I really do believe they're the next Cool Cats. And I am just gonna. I am not. I don't have one for sale. I am not listing one for sale. I love these things. I cannot wait to reveal. Congratulations, Sonerius. Well, very proud.
It's great to know that 1% of the supply is locked up. No, honestly, yeah, quick math. Yep. Congratulations to Sonerius. We still had our little group DM going with him from when we did the first interview, and we gave him a bit of a congratulations in private, and he true to form was just like so gracious and awesome, even just talking about it. So I'm sure he's had a busy weekend, and he can hopefully kick back and relax and enjoy a victory before he gets back to work. I'm sure he's got much more coming. And yeah, I mean, there's some interesting dynamics at play. As you mentioned, 0.025 is very low for a mint these days, as we just talked about, you know, one that was 0.25, and a lot of them seem to be going for, you know, 0.05, 0.08, etc. I think there's a very low propensity to list here. I think that people feel like they got in at such a good price that's like, you know, essentially almost zero. And you know, anything above mint price is probably going to be a win. But, you know, like, do you feel the need to list here at 0.04? Do you feel the need to list at 0.05? The secondary volume hasn't been crazy on this. It kind of just matches the demand that we saw from the mint, which was that it wasn't like rabid, it wasn't minting out immediately. But you got to remember, we're at 40 41 ETH traded. Now, a lot of times you look at these projects and you see it at 400 or, approaching 1,000. These are going for 0.04. So, there's been 1,000 of them trading places already. So it's not like they're completely stagnant. And I get the sense that, people are just waiting for a reveal. And I think they're probably just going to be happy with whatever they got. Maybe they minted 2, maybe they minted 4. I don't think clearly everybody didn't ape into it like we did. I minted my max 15. It looks like the average holder has about 4 of them. And I think that the upside is so high when you price it that low that I think people are willing to hold on to this and see where it goes, especially with just how vibey his community was and how they were all just there for a good time. Obviously, traders jumped in. I did see Sneaky list all of his kind of laddered throughout 0.04 to like 0.06. So, he's got an exit strategy as he always does. But I'm feeling pretty good holding a large handful of these two. And I think a lot of people will be on the same wavelength as that. So it'll be...
My worthless prediction here is that they're going to go to 0.1 after reveal. And if I'm wrong and they fall to 0.2 or close to mint, I'm probably buying more. A dead ass. That's just how I feel about this project.
Yeah, hey, I mean, the gut intuition plays, the strong conviction plays, and I know that you're willing to be a long-term holder of your NFTs. So, I gotta believe that this is, and I mean, this seems like just a no-brainer for like a Coinbase listing, if I'm being honest with you.
Oh my God, and a no-brainer for Time Magazine to say that these guys should be in the Cool Cats TV show or the Robotos TV show. These guys need their own TV. If you don't think I'm going to be pushing these to Keith as hard as I can, you're crazy.
All right. He follows you on Twitter, and now you're on a first name basis with Keith Grossman.
Yeah. We chat in the text message all the time. No, okay.
Don't.
All right.
Let's move on. Lemon Friends. Lemon Friends revealing tonight at 8 p.m. We will be watching that closely, and it'll be a lot of fun to see what happens. As most people know, it's a post reveal dump. But again, I have this thing in the back of my mind that maybe they were just priced so low that people aren't going to be willing
aren't dump post reveal.
No, I can't disagree with you on that. So, let's talk about something that did dump post reveal. And it is the big topic. We're probably going to be able to crush out about a half an hour of discussion on this, but it was Artifact. Artifact finally released the clone machine for the vials, and it was met with some odd happenings after, if I can just say that. Obviously, you actually have to choose to put your vial into the minting machine that they released on the website. It's not like they all revealed at the same time, but people did it pretty quickly. And immediately they started hitting the floor pretty hard. I think the vials at the time were going for about 3.5 ETH. The vials have crept up since then to just over 5 ETH now, while the floor of the actual CloneXs were dropping dramatically. I think it got as low as 2 ETH, sitting at about 2.5 right now. Lots of volume on them, 7,000 ETH traded already. But it was more what was happening off chain that caught me completely off guard. And we've been pretty critical of Artifact and how they handled all of these decisions leading up to it. It definitely wasn't perfect. The DDoS attack on the site, cutting off the Dutch auction, etc., etc., etc. Illidan confirming that it was as low as 1.6 ETH at one point. So my apologies on that. But yeah, they've made some questionable decisions, and they took to Twitter and continued that trend. It became known that of the 16 Murakami collaborations that they did, 16 of them, 7 were being held back for the team. So almost 50% of these hyper unique one-of-one rares by the famous Murakami, and the team is keeping seven of them. So almost 50% of that supply was being taken out. And this was not made known before. They just dropped that bomb during the reveal yesterday. I think that's a giant slap in the face because, as we've said plenty of times, that half of the fun is that shot at getting the ultra rare. It's like opening the Pokemon cards. You're waiting for that holographic or whatever. So that was a piss off, and people had a lot to say about that. I mean, you just brought in almost 20,000 ETH in sales, 20,000 ETH in sales, if I can say that again. And you are going to hold back those one of ones for team related purposes. I think you give back to your community that has supported you like just so fervently, like just like almost like cult like support, and just say, hey, look, if you pull a Murakami one of one, we'll offer you 200 ETH right then and there for it. Like, just take it or leave it. Right. That's going to put a very small dent in the 20,000 ETH that they've just earned. To add insult to injury, they also announced during the reveal that you do not own the licensing rights to any of the Murakamis that exist. And you do own the rights to your the standard CloneX. That's great, except that right is capped at $1 million. So lots going on here, lots to unpack. Like, how do you feel about this? You've been one of the most adamant CloneX supporters that I know. You've as you said, this is the culmination of 8 months of you're waiting for this to drop. It's been an incredible liquidity tie-up for you. And yeah, during the reveal, this could have been made known at any point before the purchase, but during the reveal, they decided to drop these bombs. I gotta ask how you're actually feeling about this.
I am a changed man this morning. Uncle Free has been fudding Artifact and CloneX now for 2 weeks. I'm done. I am here to say that I am very happy and proud of the collection. I think that these guys have put out a next level product that all of you Philistines are yet to grasp and understand, which I don't blame you for, as this product is early. Okay, their one fault that is there right now is they're expecting people to grasp something that probably isn't going to be relevant to them for at least a year, if not 2 years. And we know what the half-life is in NFTs. It's in weeks, not months or years. So this is the dilemma that they walked into with a botched, awful launch that will leave a bad taste in my mouth forever. I have fudded the shit out of it, and I'm done doing that. I think that number one, no one's ever offering you $1 million to license your clone. You might as well pack that up and ship it along with all your other.
Well, that's great because I wouldn't accept more than $1 million anyways. Because fuck them.
Because you could put that in your pipe and smoke it. That's never happened.
I wrote a tweet last night about joking about Adidas offering me $10 million to license my CloneX and just responding, no, one will be enough. Thank you.
Right. Move along with that. Now, I just want to give everyone in the audience a very brief history of how this came about, right? If you owned an Artifact NFT before July, so there were many you could have owned. Space Drips is one. The Fewocious made a pair of shoes that I bought, which is why I was involved in all this. I paid 1.2 E for these shoes. They gave me a bonus trophy NFT, physical shoes, an infinity perks all the way up to the wazoo, and then the NFTs were basically worth like 0.5 afterwards, right? I paid 1.2, they gave me the shoes, they were sitting there kind of just not worth anything. In July, they announced CloneX, and within a few weeks, these two NFTs they had given me were worth 15 ETH a piece, all right? So I turned 1.2 into 30 ETH, and this was all on their promises, all right? So it was originally supposed to launch mid-October, and it was delay after delay after delay for every reason under the book, from technical to market to whatever. And Little Lemon Friends had been my obsession for maybe the last 2 months. And there was no reason for them to end up clashing and happening on the same day. But as the universe likes to do, they wrapped it all up in a pretty bow for me. And within a few minutes of each other, Little Lemon sale went public and CloneX revealed. So I'm just all over the place. Like, do I reveal my CloneX? Do I go to Little Lemons? Blah, blah, blah. Now I had about 10 minutes until Lemons started minting. I go try to reveal my CloneX. And as quite a few people in the room had called, the site wasn't working. I'm using Firefox. I don't use Google products for security reasons.
Wait, you're telling me that an artifact site wasn't working?
I was using Firefox. They told me to go use Chrome, all right, because Firefox was having issues. I cleared my cache and cookies and all that stuff you're supposed to do. Still couldn't mint my clone. I eventually gave up. Everyone was revealing theirs, and boy, was the FUD in the DGen dojo alive and well. People do not like the CloneX. At least the people who can't afford it or don't own one do not like the CloneX, which does not surprise me. This is a very controversial drop with a lot of things that went wrong. I personally love them. I think that they are incredibly well done, incredibly unique, and are a lot more than the 2D image or you guys are looking at in the NFT, and that will be borne out over the next year. Not necessarily something to rush into, but to my luck, the fact that I could not mint these vials, I've all of a sudden woken up with them at all-time highs now. This is the highest the vials have been, okay, since I bought them, and now I'm left with a tough decision, right? Do I gamble one of these Murakami rares, which could instantly net me 100E or maybe even more? Or do I now take the 10E that's sitting there in my lap, right? Like, what are the chances of hitting a Murakami?
I'm sorry, man. If you're playing poker, which I know you are good at, this is the easiest fold of your life.
And you know why? It's an even easier fold than normal. My big fear is I'm really good at selling the rares. I don't get rares often, but when I do, I manage to sell them pre-reveal. So my fear this whole time was whichever CloneX vial I decide to choose, that's going to be the Murakami, even if I pick one. Now, we have learned that your clone is not chosen until you bridge. So my vials aren't anything right now. They're just vials that are worth $20,000. They're not Murakami, they're nothing. It's all up to the moment you press the click. There's all these generative random things that go into assigning your clone. It's on Chainlink. They use, I guess Chainlink has a purpose. It's NFTs, shocker. And that is what happened. So now I think I am probably going to sell at least one vial. Let's look at it this way, right? I sell both vials, I net 10E. Minus their effing 10%, because the vials are a higher royalty.
Right. So they'll only take $4,000 out of that transaction. Okay, carry on.
Now, if I reveal them, we know the floor right now is 2.5. If I reveal them and they're both commons, I've lost half my money, right? I am wondering if maybe I sell one and reveal the other. Worst case scenario, 7.5. Not too shabby, right? Like not the worst thing to walk away with if you could have walked away with 10. But now I at least have one shot to hit the Murakami, and I know everyone wants to see my CloneXs, right? Wouldn't that be interesting?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm happy that you're bullish on this. I'm happy that it worked out for the people that ended up holding on and minting or holding on to the vials. Like, the whole thing was such a liquidity suck, and I feel like some people got burned pretty hard on it, and at least the price is holding to the point where, like, you can recoup either some of those losses or make a good profit on it. Like, there's no disrespect to that. I agree with you in one regard, in that the ones that look good look really good. But when you go to that floor, all of the ones that are being sold right now for 2.5, 3, like, zoom out so you can see, 60 of them on the page at the same time. They all look the fucking same. Like, it's just, I get it. I get that there's more to it. I get that there is a metaverse character, and also had a really good laugh at In Business's expense yesterday. He was using the rarity sniper to snipe some rares. I think he paid 5 ETH for one with some really rare eye trait, and he got it. And the other trait was closed eyes, so you couldn't even see it on there. Now, again, if this is a long-term play for you, or you plan on using these things in the metaverse, obviously they're going to be animated, and you're going to be able to see those eyes. But I'm apparently swallowing my microphone. Yeah, he got that, and it was good fun was had at the expense of In Business, but I don't foresee him running around the metaverse using a CloneX anytime soon. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, the ones that sold for a lot look great. Like there was the sale was I think 150 ETH last night, and that one looked really cool. There was one for 99 that looked great. I think that the disparity between the good and the bad is far too high, and I think the bottom ones are, I don't know. I just think they're junky, if I'm being honest with you.
By December 13th, 2022, we're looking at a 10 ETH floor minimum.
All right. Well, we've got this on a recording, so we will we'll quote you on that and see where we're at. I wouldn't say that I would be surprised, but I think it's going to have some pain before then. I don't think that this keeps up below a 2 floor. But
yeah, and I just want to shout out to Dylan Tropics, who has, I think, really held himself very well through this whole process where Artifact was leaving the mods kind of hanging out there. This has been a lot of months of his life. I think he fucking nailed it, and his CloneX is one of the sickest ones I've seen. His Angel, I covet it. I would rock that PFP. Looks amazing, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan's been another long-term supporter of CloneX, and again, like I don't.
That would be DJ Tropics for all of you.
Sorry, Tropics. Yeah. He's Dylan to us in our little Alpha Mint family. No, it's. I love to see people taking those wins, especially Alpha Mint members. Like, there's no, I would never get any joy seeing somebody lose their shirt on something like this. Just to say I told you so. And I don't think that there's that element of I told you so in this. I think that the floors could have been better. I think that they could have done a better job at that, and I will just leave it at that. But I'm glad that you've. I'm glad that this is kind of concluded. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, this was pretty much supposed to be done almost a month ago at this point.
Are you kidding me? I mean, remember, this was supposed to launch mid-October, then late October, then early November, then mid-November. Then they changed it every couple weeks. So it has been very frustrating as a holder, especially with a lot of my easy liquidity locked up in it. But I'm done fudding it. I think. Honestly, these minted out at 2E, and I am sorry, Dark. I know they fucked a lot of people. I am not making excuses for their launch, but these minted at 2E, and the floor on these awful commons is 2.5. So that's all that needs to be said.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and if I'm not actually sure what he ended up doing, but if he held on to the vials, they're looking to fetch a pretty penny. And I mean, I think there's, I saw the chat going on. There's going to be an interesting kind of game of Russian roulette to see how many of these end up getting revealed as the supply starts to shrink on the vials and more of those things exist. The price is going to get pretty juicy on those too. So you
guys let me know what I should do in the chat. I'm thinking of holding the vials until 7E, selling one, and then revealing one. You guys tell me what you think.
Well, I mean, here's where it gets a little tricky. Like, you're hoping that all of those don't just start dropping, like, in succession, right? Like, if all of a sudden...
I do gamble for a living.
Yes, well, don't we all? Maybe not for a living, but as part of our hobbies, so... Yeah.
For a surviving.
For surviving, yeah. So anyways, it's been an interesting topic. I would love to see the more developments. There was a lot of fun on Twitter directed at Artifact, and I think rightfully so. But here we are. We live to fight another day, and there will definitely be more to talk about for CloneX. So, yeah, on that note, I'm going to just start to say anybody that wants to jump up on the stage can throw their hands up. We'll start inviting you up. I did just get a message in the general chat asking us to talk about Croaks. So if anybody was a part of Croaks, let me know and come up on stage. But they are sitting at almost... Project. Yeah, I mean, I've been burned from some Toads derivatives in the past. Cough, Ninja Toads, cough. But yeah, they actually do look pretty good. 3D doesn't always play well, but it maybe Artifact
companions.
Oh, yeah. maybe Artifact and CloneX kind of changed the meta, and we moved towards a 3D.
Totally did. You just can't see it through the FUD. Not you. I'm saying the public can't see through the FUD right now that the entire meta is changing underneath their feet, and it's thanks to CloneX.
All right, throw another stamp on that too. But yeah, Croaks is sitting at about a 3 ETH floor, and I believe that it was a 0.08 mint. And the 800 ETH in volume traded already. So I believe reveal, if somebody wants to fill me in on that, should be sometime in the next 24 hours. And yeah, so we'll bring Cass up on the stage.
Yeah, there's a couple other projects too. I want to shout out people in the audience. If you were following Dusk Breakers, I think 90% of the Moon Lounge was in on this. It was not only a cook, but I'm pretty sure we pulled 3 sub 100 rares in the Moon Lounge last night. So if anyone wants to chat about that, come up, because I wasn't following it too closely. And a new project, not new, it's been around for a bit, but looks like it's getting close to launching, is Pet Hooligans. Have you seen this?
Yeah, good 3D art. I was on the whitelist, and I went to go check to make sure that it is been accepted, and my address has not been accepted, and they have closed off all support tickets.
Yeah, it was messy. I know Rajesh got screwed there
pissed.
too.
Yeah, Rajesh is pissed about it too. God, you know what? I mean, is it worth the energy to go fight it? You know, you're not going to get that spot back. Like, you know, the opportunity is gone. Am I going to get emotional and chase after it? I'm not really sure yet, but yeah, it's pretty frustrating. You know, as one of the first, I think, 700 people in the Discord. Not that I was a super active participant or anything like that, but yeah, it feels like there's a bit of burn there, and I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, but I'm not super thrilled about it either. So I would have minted.
Yeah. I mean, it seems to be, I don't know, it's like a game, right? But it's supposed, with the angle that I think is appealing is the community. It's supposed to be like a community tournament that everybody is involved in at the same time. So if it were successful, you could see it capturing the zeitgeist in a way that, you know, Sin City did, but hopefully fun and not frustrating.
Yeah. So, Cass, GM again, joined us for the little pre-show preamble. Keeping free market. Yeah, company looked all alone by himself up there.
GM, how you doing?
Great,
wonderful.
Man. You sound full of energy today, R2, man. You sound proper energized.
I went to bed. Yeah, I was hurting. I did have a wedding that I went to on Saturday night, and had some fun on Friday night too. So yesterday was a day of junk food and recuperation, culminating in an 8 o'clock bedtime and 3:30 a.m. Wake up time this morning, as I woke up feeling great and couldn't go back to sleep, and figured that was a sign to get my day started. So here we are.
What was gas at 3:35 in the morning?
Yeah, I saw it as low as 25. Yeah,
I've seen it that low. Because I think 3:30 in the morning for you, lots about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock for me.
Somewhere in that ballpark, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, when I woke up, I was seeing 20s for the first time in my life, to be honest.
Wow. Yeah, years. I think 2 years since I saw that.
So, couple of things really. Have you guys heard of Bozoverse?
Bozoverse? No, I think you're gonna have to drop a link and tell us about it.
Bozoverse, it was random. There's going to be 64 plots of land, metaverse land, which how I figured out about it was Bears Deluxe have put a bid in for one of them for them. So they put on the Bears Deluxe forum, and I kind of read between the lines and ended up on the whitelist for it. Well, not for that, but for the characters. I think there's 64 plots of land to be sold on the 16th of the 12th. I think mint price is 0.3 ETH, and it looks cool. It does look cool. I'm not too sure about the name, but it kind
So
of
that
looks
was point. You said they're minting at 0.3, right?
0.3, and there's I think either 64 or 74 plots of land.
Did you see the properties cook over the weekend?
Oh yeah, that was a big one too. I saw
Yeah,
the remnants of that.
and right, and R2 and I, we were talking about this. This is going to be the new trend, man. Land and land derivatives. I think properties really confirmed it in my head that this is where we're heading. So I'm actually really interested in this play because I think the next 3 or 4 are going to do very well.
Oh,
So yeah, drop us a link for that.
I've dropped you the wrong link. One sec.
Thank you.
Wrong link.
I know that link. I like that Discord too, by the way.
How do you like that Discord?
I do. I just started exploring. It was late last night, but I'm going to have to do a deeper dive today.
Which one's that?
Zombie Penguins? Arcade.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, you've got things for it
Yeah.
anyway. Well, you know what I mean? Like that's why I don't. Sorry, I put the wrong one up there. Let me just get this one back up. Yeah, so talking about that, funny enough, we've got Dylan's gonna be spinning the decks in that server, and
Woo!
you guys are more than welcome to turn up. I think
Yeah.
there's also Grand Theft Auto, someone's hooking up Grand Theft Auto, so if you've got PlayStation 5, you can play Grand Theft Auto with all the fancy bells and stuff
I
as
gotta
well.
buy me a machine.
I can send you my PS5, dude, man. That's mine.
The perks coming with the show. All right.
I know, right?
It's all to do with Alphamint, dude. It's all to do with Alphamint.
Wow.
Let me see if I can, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so there's a couple of things going on there, man. And anyone here is more than welcome to just pop up and just jam, I suppose. It's gonna be at 8:30 tonight. I won't put a link up, just find out and just find out because I hate shilling my own shit.
Maybe I'll put the link up for everybody, but I'll put that in the after show. But yeah, join the party tonight with Tropics and Zombie Penguin.
Good fun. Yeah.
Who
So
now, I believe Zombie Penguins now have a higher floor than Pudgy Penguins
oh,
after
could you
after this
imagine?
weekend.
Could you imagine? That was actually really that was a mad one, that whole Pudgy Penguins thing,
I
man.
can't believe we didn't talk about this, Cobain. I don't know how this flipped my mind, but the drama over the weekend. Did you see the Pudgy Penguins drama?
No, I actually
Oh.
I didn't hear anything about this at all.
We may have to just do it on the show tomorrow because it's so much to talk about. But there was Pudgy Penguins controversy, community manager contracts, and shocker, Ethereum Cole was caught in the middle of this controversy. An upstanding member of the NFT community, which I am being sarcastic about. I don't know Cole personally. I would not levy any accusations against him, but there is a lot of smoke around the idea that this guy is not to be trusted. So when a controversy like this came out of Pudgy Penguins over the weekend, I was not very surprised, though I am not taking sides here. Both sides were acting like children, in my opinion, and we'll go into a deep dive on tomorrow's show. But sorry for cutting you off, Cass. Go ahead.
Oh no, continue, because when I saw it, I saw the price plank down to about 0.5.
Wow.
Wow.
That was a 2 ETH floor,
Yeah, 2 months ago.
not 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
At
So
one point, almost looked like 5 ETH.
Oh,
Maybe,
well,
maybe not that high.
back in the hype cycle, but even it was one of the more impressive floors holding during the bear. People were like, "Huh, I guess Pudgies are legit," because that floor is still holding 2 ETH during the bear, and I mean, not anymore.
it's amazing. It's amazing what words out of someone's mouth can do a whole project.
Right? I mean, they and
Unreal.
then there were chats released of the guy, the community manager who has the center of the controversy, with other influencers chatting about how they were going to FUD penguins to zero and that it was like all in or. That's why I don't know who to trust. I don't know what's right, and everybody came off looking bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
in this
as somebody taking in a lot of secondhand information here, it sounds like everybody was being a child. I hate when
Yep.
people like band up to be like, I'm gonna FUD the shit out of Pudgy Penguins until it's zero. Like, how many people have bought that project for 2, 3, 4 ETH that are just honest supporters of it, and then you see all these
You want a juicy
high
rumor?
prolific. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. You want to know who they think the influencer in this chat was? There's two thoughts as to who it was. Either Farouk, all right, or get this, Fungibles.
Okay.
Fungibles from BitClout.
No.
Oh wow,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Crazy. He came out and denied it, but
Let's
crazy.
let's sit on this and we'll
Okay, all
get
right,
more of the
sorry,
timeline
too good.
and do something for
Too good.
tomorrow, because that is I mean, that's pretty substantial. This is
juicy.
not a small project that we're talking
Yeah,
about
I
here.
can't believe it slipped my mind, but we'll cover that tomorrow.
Wow,
And
this weekend.
Before I go, I think he's gone already, man. I just wanted to say thank you to is it Pollinary? Pollinary?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
He's a leg-
Pollinary.
He's a legend, you know. He like it was him that the Astro Boy. It was
It
him.
Yes.
was, yeah.
Yes.
It was him because when the moment this kid or this person, whoever it is, the moment he or she puts something up, it is literally on point in time, and you can 9 times out of 10 get a whitelist whenever he posts something up. So I just want to say thank you to him, man, because I feel he does a lot for the community.
Amazing.
Man,
Yeah, it's
shout
always
out
good
to
to
Pollinary.
yeah, always good to show respect and love where it's due and whatnot. But yeah, a lot of amazing people in this community sharing some pretty
100%.
insane alpha. Kind of as I mentioned somewhere in the middle of the show, there's this idea that out in the open that NFTs are in a bear market, and yeah, there's definitely some struggling floors out there and whatnot, but there is tons of opportunity, and our community has been like second to none, and I actually say that honestly with finding it.
And I
Yep.
would also say there's other alpha communities I've been in, and I'm not just saying this because just to kind of alpha min, but it's real truth. It's like you guys, the people in here, everyone in here, you can learn so much just by being in here, and the value of an alpha min pass is way beyond what you value it as, because it's community and community brings value, and the amount of value this community brings is just mind blowing. And well done to you two guys and everyone else in the Alpha Mint team to have created this, man, because it's something special. So well done.
Yeah, actually, and big congratulations to Free Market, who another announcement that we didn't talk about is officially part of the Alpha Mint team now. Not that everybody was always thought of you that you were the moderator before, but yeah.
The common reaction was, wait, he wasn't part of the team. Now, kids, this is a good lesson for you all. If you are auditioning and you want to be part of an organization, you put your all into it and you act like you're already there. You give it your all, you see what happens.
Yeah, it's kind of that dress for the job you want. I think some people take it literally of like you got to put a suit and tie on every day, but just manifest it into existence, right? Like just to be the person that everyone wants to have around, or that everybody wants to work with. And I'm pumped. I'm pumped for you, and couldn't think of a better person.
Thank you. I love this community, and this. I couldn't be more passionate about anything besides NFTs. So this is easy for me. It doesn't feel like work. Thank you for all the kind words, everybody.
Yeah, amazing. Cass, great to talk to you. I'm going to bring up Star Thug, and if anybody else wants to throw their hand up while he's speaking, we'll bring you up on stage after. We probably got about another 10-15 minutes we can keep the show on for. Star Thug, what's going on?
Yo, let's fucking go. Let's go.
Rocking is that a Hungry Buns?
Yeah, I'm rocking this Hungry Buns. Yo, he's looking fresh as fuck right now.
He looks really good. Like,
Yeah, it actually
the Hunger Bones look really good, I gotta say.
Thanks, man. Congratulations, dude. I always thought you were on the team already, to be honest.
No. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, are we doing this drop? This AB?
The art blocks, yeah, I actually was going to pull that up and look at it. I mean, it's hard after last week's. I gotta just pull it up on the screen for if anyone's watching on YouTube. After last week, it's slipping down to a 0.25 and then turning into an absolute cook. I don't know if the same will happen again, but it's certainly worth keeping an eye on while it goes down. Starts at 1 p.m. Eastern, starting at 5 ETH, and then every 5 minutes drops down from 4, 3, 2.5 to 1.5, et cetera, et cetera. It will be interesting to see how the market reacts to last week's and if people just jump into it. The artist is Jen Stark, so not quite on the last guy, Matt. The name is escaping me, Matt Kane, but they're pretty cool. They're pretty psychedelic. It's like they're called Vortex, and they it almost looks like a never-ending tunnel of like some pretty vibrant colors going on there. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to be watching it. What are you thinking?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've missed every single one, but each one has like rocketed. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna be looking at it for sure. But what do you think about my pet hooligan? Because everyone knows that's going to like 30 ETH probably.
Oh, that's a big claim. You know what? If you guys get in on it, I hope it's an absolute cook for you. I'm gonna watch and see if the public sale is palatable and maybe get on there. But like I kind of mentioned in the show, I'm shit out of luck with my whitelist spot that I thought I had, and I mean that's on me. I could have checked earlier, I suppose. Again, being away from the weekend kind of puts you in these positions, so I'm not going to FUD the shit out of the project, and I hope anyone participating does well. I actually think they look really good, but I'm not sure how keen I am on participating now. So, did you manage to get on the whitelist for that?
Yeah, I won a raffle.
Oh, nice! Congrats.
What are they priced at?
I don't know, honestly, but are they like having a partnership with Netflix?
My Pet Hooligan?
Haven't spent too much time looking into them, and then I
could have sworn I saw something like that.
I'm gonna look on their.
We talked about them a while ago, and they do have a team that has done a lot of graphic work with. I think this was the team that did some stuff with Coldplay and.
Yeah, it's AMGI, which is a famous animation studio. So these guys are pros, no question.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised to find out that some kind of partnership like that was in the works. Just pulling up the frequently asked questions right now. And 8,888 of them. 0.08 is the mint price. So pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I wasn't in this early, so I'm not burned like everyone who got their whitelist spots taken away. It looks interesting to me. If I can somehow get a whitelist or it's like reasonable, not a gas war, I'd probably get involved at 0.08. Yeah, there's just good buzz, it has that buzz, like it's gonna pump just on the buzz.
Public mint will be like tomorrow,
or not. Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah,
okay, this
pre-sales today, so 24-hour pre-sale. And
well, I guess I'm not getting on the whitelist.
No, whitelist is done. You can't get it if you try. They even said if you were on the whitelist and there was any issues and the thing's not picking up your wallet, yeah, don't even try and ask, which is it's frustrating, but whatever. It is what it is. Again, we live to fight another day.
Not on the whitelist.
Rajesh, yeah, I know. He's been very vocal about it.
All right.
Yeah, so yeah, man. So
I heard the Ronin Cat creator actually called the creator of Pet Hooligans and was like, "Is this kid Rajesh in your Discord? You should ban him."
Yeah, ban Rajesh.
Oh, ban Rajesh. That's how it happened. Yeah.
Damn, it's moving. The movement.
Sweeping the NFT community
at this point.
It's getting
bigger, dude. Seriously,
it's the new NGMI. It's just the Ban Rajesh. Solid hashtag. So cool, man. Well, thanks for coming up, and good luck with some of those mints today. Hopefully everything works out
Thanks,
well.
bro. I'm gonna flip the shit out of them.
Get it.
Flip, flip.
Akleezy rocking the Gape profile picture. What's going on, GM?
No, Ape Kids.
Hey,
Gotta say, Ape Kids.
hey, GM. Hey,
GM,
Cleasy, that's right. That's right. Hey guys, just wanted to say thanks for the show. It gets me through my hour drive to work, and when I heard that you guys pushed it back that half hour, I couldn't have been happier.
Yeah, the
'cause I
consensus seems
usually
to be
only
that was a good move, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, I was usually only able to catch Cass in the the Q&A afterwards, but he's always great too. So yeah, thanks for that move. That's been awesome. So talking about Croaks here just a little bit, I actually won a whitelist from a Gapes Alpha, a Galactic Apes Alpha raffle, and then I got off work to find out that all the whitelist spots or the project had sold out, and I had heard it was partially because Cryptodes members kind of aped in, and then also partially maybe there was an exploit in the contract allowing people to transfer the Croaks out of their wallet and then kind of re-interact with the minting contract and get more.
Damn.
So it was really unfortunate, and it wasn't the first project that I've been whitelisted in, and unfortunately, I left before I realized I was folks enough to still buy a couple on secondary. And in my opinion, I think that the art is some of the best 3D art I've ever seen, and especially for a derivative project to kind of show how much effort that they're going into to kind of show homage to Cryptodes and do that. I think that this could be potentially a reveal that actually pumps or a project that actually pumps post reveal just because of the artwork and the differentiation between the pieces. I was just wondering kind of what your guys' opinion is on the project, and also I just have a question. If you were as talented of a 3D artist as McGill is with these Croaks, would you attack a derivative type project, or would you be looking to start kind of your own thing from the ground up?
Personally, I would do what art is about obsession, right? When an artist puts out really good work, it's because they become obsessed with and it doesn't make sense to anyone but them until you see what they create. And that's the vibe I get from Croaks. It's the vibe I got from Creature's World, and I think there's a difference between Creature Toads, sorry. And I think there's a difference between knockoff and derivative. Derivative, while people use it in a negative way, tends to honor and move the art forward. And that's what I think Croaks does in spades. I mean, the textures on those frogs are next level. I am in total agreement with you. This has the feeling of a project that would pump post-reveal as people just love the art and want to get, the toads that they want. And the fact that the Cryptodes community went so bananas for that, even though, as Dark Illidan has pointed out, there was an exploit. It was related to Cryptodes, and Cryptodes were able to mint huge amounts when they weren't supposed to. I think that's not going to affect the long-term prospects of this project. I'm very bullish on it, and I love the art.
Yeah, I mean, just to add on to that point, I think the one thing that when you're doing a derivative, you're kind of just at risk is you're kind of you kind of live and die by the project and the community's reaction to you doing a derivative. Now, obviously, the main community doesn't have to accept you with open arms, as we've seen with the Funks. But you don't have the same opportunity to make your own unique brand and your own unique communities. And I think that's one of the things that we really liked about Little Lemon Friends is sure, it's not like the most groundbreaking art, but he made his own little thing. He made his own little world around it, and people really seem to be just loving it.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. I appreciate the input, guys. I'm also looking forward to the reveal. I think, they mentioned a little thing about, maybe a future airdrop to holders, and where you could actually have, either a 3D printed model of your croak or whatever it may be, just to sit on your, your coffee table in your living room. And I think that alone, is worth kind of the floor at the moment, just because they're so damn cute. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you again, guys, and I'm hoping that that Croaks does do well, so maybe I can do a quick flip and finally get this damn alpha pass that I've been trying to flip for a couple weeks now, but have ran into some unfortunate things on some projects that I've been in. But that is my main goal, is to join the community with you guys. So I appreciate you guys a lot.
We're excited to have you up there, but don't worry, we're not going anywhere. So
okay.
Thank you. That means a lot, bro.
Yeah.
And I totally in agreement with you on Croaks. And vinyl toys, I think, are such an obsession of our generation, with all those pop toys out there and the Japanese stuff, that I also think that's a great value add. And while I'm not the biggest fan of most physical utility attached to NFTs, because I believe it becomes confusing, and then you have to keep this physical item as mint as the NFT is. How do you sell all that type of stuff? But these type of value adds, where I would love if any person who ever bought that NFT had the right to get, the vinyl toy made for them and stuff like that. Yeah, I love that.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, great project.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day.
You too, bro.
thanks, man. Thanks for coming up. All right. I don't know about you. I think on that note, we could probably start wrapping up the show. And I think even just talking throughout today, I think I'm just starting to stumble on a whole lot more to talk about tomorrow. Pretty amazing to see 50 people in the audience right now. There was a bit of a lull last week, as the perceived bear market might have been in play, but amazing to have 50 audience members here listening for pretty much the entire show. So that means so much to us. Is there anything you want to touch on before we jet out of here?
I don't even want to leave the show on this vibe, but another board,
Oh,
Ape
yeah.
Grail, was just stolen. And this is a grail, guys. This sad. You hate to see this. We make a little fun of it, but we don't want this to happen. Please be safe, everyone.
Yeah, he approved a transaction on a link that was shared in the Bored Apes Discord by somebody that was, I guess, perceived to be a like a reputable member, or maybe it was just a legitimate accident, but it was supposed to animate your NFT. He approved the transaction, and despite it being on a hardware wallet, because he interacted with said contract, it was transferred out of his wallet, and yeah, that hurts. So don't know if there's any way that he's going to get that back, but fingers crossed.
Yeah, and I hope OpenSea doesn't put a little thing on it that says, well, I guess in this particular situation,
yeah, you don't want that to get sold.
Yeah, you don't want it to get sold. So this would be the rare case where OpenSea should put something on it, because it was a straight theft. There's no third victim involved in the sale.
Yeah, so it sucks to see that happen, and hopefully, I always have my fingers crossed that this is like some white hat hack where they're like exposing something and they're not going to give it all back. But I mean, I don't really have high hopes on that. So
yeah.
On that note, yeah, if anyone tuned in late for this episode, or you want to catch back up on any of the previous episodes, feel free to check us out on Spotify and YouTube. I spent almost 2 hours this morning trying to fix the audio quality. I guess it sounded a little bit shoddy in Discord, but I'm pretty confident that the actual recording output should sound pretty good. We did a test this morning and it sounded great. So I'm sorry if I blew up anybody's ears during my excitement, probably talking about CloneX. But yeah, those should be a lot better now. So I apologize for having that completely botched last week. Finish us off.
Good luck at the tables, guys.
Peace.